Welcome to Soul Tribe Search Party, your go-to space for real talk, deep reflections, and unfiltered life moments. I'm your host, Breezy, and here we keep it raw, soulful, and authentic. Hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in. Hey y'all, good morning. Well, y'all don't know that it's morning, but it is morning time. It is 7:32 a.m. and we are about to experience a full moon, and I believe it's going to be in Cancer. I don't know what that necessarily means, but all I know is that I just had a thought on my mind or feeling that I was working through, because I found myself have you ever, and I was just talking to someone about this, but have you ever mourned a relationship with somebody and it's I don't know, okay, let me backtrack. So, as I'm driving, because I was just riding around this morning, I was having the feeling that I missed one of my old friends. And, as I'm reflecting on the relationship, I'm thinking about all of the previous good times of stuff that we did. But then as I'm thinking about those good times, I'm simultaneously thinking about the times where it was yeah, this person was moving kind of funny or whatever the case may be. And as a woman, we love to talk about, we know somebody's heart and whatever. And that's all fine and dandy, but sometimes it's crazy how much stuff we will actually deal with when it comes to that type of shit, and tolerating it, because we said, or I said, you know the person's heart, right? But yeah, I'm gonna call her Sandy. So Sandy definitely was one of those friends that I used to be able to go on adventures with, and shit would be really fun. But I always end up being the friend that is over exerting myself. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna make it seem like Sandy is all bad, because at the same time, she was also the one that would come up with these ideas, include me. She would call me every day just to talk, even though we would really just be talking about nothing. Or she calls to talk about herself, but I just found that Sandy would never drive to come over to my house or ask to come over. I'm coming over to her house, and then she ended up moving out of town. And even when she moved out of town, my ass was going to see her all the fucking time, right? And at this point, yes, it was because I am the one that is always flexible and able to do such things. But Sandy had another friend who she would drive, or she drove, 6 hours to go see that other friend, that she had. But it never once crossed her mind to be oh, I want to come visit you, or whatever. Her attitude was I'm never coming back there. Okay, so it was the plan was that I was just always coming to her. And it's because can friendships even really last like that if one person is the one that is always coming to the other, you know? And then it's like, fast forward when I decided to go on my life adventures, and she had convinced me, you know, that I should move there, you know? And it was like, I really did jump off the porch and do that. And then it was like, as soon as I did do that, and I have my own plan. Let's get this straight. I have my own plan, but to me, the principle of the thing was that, you know, you wanted me to come to you because you always expressed how lonely you were, and just how much stuff that we could do. You wanted me to come to you, yet you did not offer anything. And I feel like, as a friend, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, or, you know, I'm always open to feedback. But just like, as a friend, I'm not going to try to convince my friend to move, you know, clear across the United States and then not, like, say shit, do shit, you know? Because it's like, when I got there, I was just shocked, honestly, like, how she was moving, because, like, she had her work friends, you know, and people that she did start to meet, but it was like, she wasn't inviting me to do the things that she's out doing. Like, I'm literally here by myself, you know, doing my own little thing, because that's just how I am. Like, I can always find something to do by myself. But I had just, like, when I was on Snapchat, I had noticed that she was out boating, you know, with people. And I'm like, damn, like, so you know that I'm in town and you have not once asked for me to hang out with you, said like, hey, I'm going boating, you want to come? Or, you know, just like anything. Like, it was just real weird type energy. And it's just so crazy because, like, when you say stuff out loud, it just makes you realize, like, how fucked up shit can be, and we don't really realize it. But I don't know. And so I had, like, got mad at her or whatever. And what I did do, though, was I did try to send her a message to explain myself, because I do try to, you know, be better about that. Like, I usually do just try to cut people off cold turkey, you know, but if it is something that I value, I will definitely try to talk with you so that you can understand where I'm at, you know. And when I did that, this girl told me, yeah, sorry that I stopped trying, or whatever, you know, that was. And I don't know why that had always just never sat right with me, because I'm like, yeah, you know, because if it was that easy for you to just give up on somebody, you know, and you know that you were not the best of friend in the situation, then I don't know what we're doing here. But yeah, and I don't know. So we rekindled, you know, our relationship for a little bit, to be honest. But I don't know. I feel like the energy was too off from having that conversation, that, like, we hung out for a little bit, but it didn't really last long, if I'm being honest. And it, like, we did get a couple more adventures in, but, you know, it failed. And, like, Sandy was also, like, I don't want to say boy crazy, but, like, I get it, you know? Like, she was there by herself, and every time I would come to visit, though, it was like I had to hang out with all her new, you know, people that, she done made her new partner or whatever, and then they done moved into her house, like, for that time period that they were a thing. And then it was just, like, if I'm being honest, like, I think that's another thing that threw me off too, because it was like, when I came there, the reason why you were trying to move funny is because you had another dude that you just met living with you, and things ended up not even working out with y'all, and you dated for like a couple months. But it's like you couldn't help your friend out because you are worried about a dude. And I can't even say a nigga like I want to with my everyday lingo, because she dates white men, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it speaks to, like, yeah. But, like, anyway, so today I just found myself mourning my relationship with Sandy, and I don't even know why, because, like, even when I just started talking about it, the shit kind of pissed me off again. Like, and I really could just start going in on all the negative shit, because, like, even as far as me starting a business and, like, doing shit for myself, Sandy was never a supportive person, like, never shared anything that I have going on. And I'm always that friend, like, if you send me some shit, bro, I will be your biggest supporter. I really will. I'll share all your shit, I'll comment on all your shit, and it's just like, I'm tired of the energy not being reciprocated. But, like, it's just, honestly, it's confusing, like, as to why, that pain body is there of that friendship, because, I mean, now she's married, married a white man, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, that is her life now, and, like, she's just always posting about her adventures and stuff that she's doing. And I mean, people always make shit look like, they're just living their best life, and I think a part of that mourning is like, oh, like, I miss doing adventures with you too, but, like, it's unfortunate that, that's not our lane anymore. And, like, she's also one of those friends that, like, she's not going to acknowledge where she went wrong in the situation. She's not going to acknowledge that, anything, if I'm going to be honest. She's not going to acknowledge anything. Like, she was always one of those people that was always in competition with you secretly, and at the same time, like, she had a God complex, like, kind of judgmental type friend. Because I've talked about Sandy before, like, in my earlier podcasting days, because, we started off with working together, and our work relationship was not the best, before we started to become friends for real, because, like, she is the same age as me, but for some reason she always had a superiority feeling, that she always had to be above me. And, like, when I had talked to her about that, though, she ended up, like, breaking down about it and just basically saying, like, she just tries to have a friendly competition. And I just never really understood, like, moving with that energy, because, like, it's one thing to try to have a friendly competition to keep your friend motivated and lift them up, but it's another thing to, like, be politicking with people and, like, when it comes to roles and getting promotions, like, talking down on me to the next person to make sure that you get the role instead of me. But then, like, once you're ready to leave your role, then you talk to the superiors to let me have the role that you already had. And, like, when we would talk to people, like that would be something that she would make sure that she brought up. Like, yep, she used to work under me and blah blah blah. Like, mm, it's crazy. It's crazy. So honestly, it's like, what are you really mourning? Because, like, if we're being honest, that's not a friend. Like, yeah, that might have been your friend that she liked to do similar things as you, but that's just about it. Because it was literally just outdoor things that we like to do together. Everything else was kind of like um, not compatible. Because on top of which, like, um, just, I don't know, because she was a mixed person that grew up in a white family, and they convinced her that she was white, so she didn't really appreciate like black culture. um and that would be something that I feel like she would talk down on, or like feel like she was better than, in a way. Because as far as just like being myself and listening to the music that I want to listen to, like, I don't listen to Beyonce and Doja Cat, and no, I don't listen to that shit. But it's like, I am not judgmental towards what other people like to do. So of course, if you're driving and I'm riding in your car, play your shit, But it's like, if she was riding in my car, she would be like, what is this? Like, why are we listening to this? you know? But I really applaud you if you are still listening to me vent in my car chronicles today, um, about this friendship, because I overall was really just trying to like understand um, what is the energy behind it, like, especially when you know that somebody is not all the way right, and you can admit that you even had some flaws in the situation too. But the fact that you're the one that is willing to work on something and the other person isn't, like, it can be very hurtful too, especially when it's like, you can have certain friends for certain things. So acknowledging, like, yeah, if we were cool, like, I would still, go fucking hiking with you or kayaking with you, but that's kind of where the buck would stop. But at the same time, it's like, it is what it is, right? Like, you can't harp on situations like that where people just don't give a fuck. Like, okay, you gotta leave people where they at. You most definitely gotta leave people where they at. And I feel like that has been my theme, you know, towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. Like, I'm starting to leave everybody where they at. Like, I've created boundaries to where it's like, I'm no longer overexerting myself. Like, I'm no longer putting myself in my friends' cycles. Like, if people want to be stuck, make excuses and be where they are, I'm not judging you, but I'm also over here with it. Like, I'm not gonna keep wasting my time. If our roads, like, if we cross paths because we're collabing on something, or just whatever the case may be, then that's cool. Like, just know that there's never gonna be no negative energy with me. But like, if you are not willing to have the conversations, if you're not willing to like be real about some shit, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm not gonna do shit. I'm just gonna leave it where it's at. But at the same time, I had this like reflection today, because like, it's an emotion that is inside of you. Like, it's not, ain't nobody finna just turn into no cold, like, I ain't got no feelings type person. You will still have feelings about stuff, but it's the fact, like, if you're trying to ignore those feelings or subside them, they come out in different ways. So I'm at least trying to acknowledge the feeling or emotion that I'm having today, thought processes and all that shit. And I basically just reflected on that whole emotion, but at the end of the day, it's now closed. Like, so I acknowledge it and I'm allowing it to pass through, and I'm now on to the next thing, so I don't have to sit here and keep thinking about the shit or, whatever. But yeah, so that was on my mind today for my little Car Chronicles episode. And thank you for listening. Bye for now. That's a wrap for today's episode. If this resonated with you, don't forget to follow, share, and connect with me on YouTube, TikTok, and my website can be found in my bio. Let's keep the convo going.